Aloha everybody! Welcome to the #1 home improvement YouTube channel in the entire world. Today I'm in Maui, right here on the beach. I've got some videos coming up in the future on vacation rentals, interior finishes, quality of workmanship on $1 million and up vacation rentals. Those will be coming out in the future, so hit that subscribe button, hit the bell, hit the like. Today's video is removing popcorn ceiling. There's a few people out there who are very disrespected by the removal of popcorn ceiling. They're in love with it. They love their popcorn ceiling. Well, most people don't like it because in the construction industry, it is a shortcut. I don't know if I want to call it a shortcut. It is a very economical solution to finishing the ceiling. The house you're going to be watching me work on today was built in 1994 and the popcorn has not been painted. It's very important to know. So when you think about removing your popcorn ceiling, reach up there and pinch some off and see if it kind of crumbles in your hands. If it does, you're in luck. The video is pretty self-explanatory. Towards the last third of the video, I get into some more meat and potatoes. The removal method that I'm using. Just sit back, relax, and watch me work. There will be some bonus footage at the end. I'm using a, what is this, 8-inch blade? 6-inch blade is too small. What you're doing is this half or quarter passes. So the right side of the blade is firmly pressed onto the flat surface of the ceiling. The left side of the blade is being controlled by that. If you have too small of a blade, it can remove it unevenly. You can see how this is much more wet than this area here, and it came off a lot easier. You want it more wet than dry, but not too wet. If it's too wet, you risk messing up the paper. I've been lucky so far that I've only dinged it like twice in this whole ceiling. Now that is too dry, and you need to get a good scrape. If you don't, you have much more prep work the next day. Once the ceiling's dry, you got to go back and sand and start spot filling any areas. I'm going to have very limited spot filling, but I will go over this, and I may only have to go over this with a rag, just to get areas that I scraped a little uneven, more so up high when I was a little more off balance. But overall, it's coming off pretty easy. Getting towards the end, you really open this nozzle up. If I could, I'd bring a garden hose in here. It's really about the waiting for this layer of popcorn ceiling to get saturated enough to come loose. And you get a rhythm down, and you go back and forth to the next area, getting that into a pre-soak. Then go scrape, and then come back and soak the area that you pre-soaked. And then pre-soak the next area, then move back, scrape, soak the pre-soak area, and move on down the line. It's tedious, moderately labor intensive, low skill, very low skill level. You could probably get a couple chimpanzees to do this. This area here didn't get saturated enough. The knife started skipping. Or I didn't leave it long enough to get saturated. Love this suit. Just wipe it right on the suit. Could use the rag. This seam here, it's coming out really good. Just keeping that right amount of saturation, the right angle, and only taking like half cuts. At the edge, I did grab hold of the papers a little bit in two areas, which isn't bad. I just did it again right there. So this area was on a pre-soak. Now I'm going to go back and saturate it again, and then pre-soak the next area. Then move the ladder, then this should be saturated enough to shave off, just like I did here. Pay close attention to this area. We replace this light, but this area is ceiling, we'll get it up. So you get your turn on the so like, go ahead and fix it. That's what I'm asking. About the electrocution? Nope, the electrocuted many times. Not afraid of electrocution. Electrocution. This is where you got to be careful of that tape. They don't have a lot of mud. It's not floated out like the seams are. So I come in at an angle so I don't pick up the edge of the tape. Come in, a little swiping saw action. Yeah, pretty good. I've got the seam right there. This is nice bits. This here is pretty wet. Comes out really easy, but you gotta be careful. Now comes the next part. You gotta clean up. I'm gonna spend a little bit of time on the ladder. Just scrape it right onto the plastic. I'll hose this off at a later date. Gotta get it clean because you can't go into the next person's house and have all this stuff flaking off on their floors. Or if you're doing this, if this is your own house you're working on, you don't want this crap falling on your new carpet. You come in to hang a picture. Don't forget to get some handyman, handyware, handy merch. Not sure what to call it yet. This t-shirt still isn't available. It is, I believe it's my favorite one, and I just have to make it available somehow. Got to figure it out. I think I'm going to shrink it down a little bit so it's not so big, but I honestly think this size isn't too bad. If you're not subscribed to the Handyman Business YouTube channel, you might want to consider it. It's going to be more than just how to be a handyman. Anyone who's self-employed or thinking about starting their own business, and one of the topics is vacation rental properties, maintaining vacation rental properties, also moving to Hawaii to start up your own handyman business. I've done a ton of research over the last decade of coming here every year, and you might be surprised, maybe you won't be surprised about the data that I have gathered and what my decision is for investing in a vacation rental property in either Maui, is where I am now. Last week I was on the island of Kauai. I have spent a ton of time on Oahu. Those are the only 3 islands that I'm familiar with, so that's where this data, this information comes from on vacation rental properties. So the Handyman Business Channel is also going to start going into how we as self-employed people can invest our money. Right now is the worst time ever to invest. What are people doing with all their money because they have stopped buying anything? It's the bad time to invest in anything, stocks or real estate. Links to my, what is it called? The handyman.store will be in the description below. Links to the Handyman Business Channel will be linked below. In the future, I don't know if it's come out yet or not, I'm a couple months behind on videos. Full tours of a $990,000 vacation rental house. I will provide a link. A lot of people don't believe me when I say numbers, because of course I'm not going to post links to my neighbors' houses and their listings, but I can here. So I'll be posting links to the vacation properties that I've stayed in this year. And this one, it's hard to believe, but it's all about the location and the view. The view will cost you $1.4 million. The interior finishes are, well, you'll just have to wait to watch that video coming out in a week or so. Aloha and mahalo. I think that's thank you in Hawaiian. All right, I got to get back to the beach. Oh, and there's some whales out there. I might go torment with my drone.